guys, welcome back to Affirmations. Please like, share, and subscribe. And those of you who are new, welcome. I want to thank my subscribers as well as new subscribers that I have. And I'm hoping your week went well. Wishing everyone mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical health. Okay. And for those of you, we always start off with our saying, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Have you been feeding yourself fresh or rotten fruit? Always wanting to mind the self-talk that we do with ourselves, as well as what we speak, as well as what we speak about others. Wanting to make sure that we're not being malicious or lying on others. Sometimes that can reap, that can activate what you sow. Okay, so we don't want that. Let's see. For those of you who are new, we will be using the DBT deck for clients and therapists, 101 mindful practices to manage distress, regulate emotions, and build better relationships. We are tackling the topic of healing slave trauma, trying to help our people heal, okay, and look at some of the ways we're still being affected today, okay. Also, too, in the past, we were using the self-therapy card deck. This right here is an excellent deck as well for those who want to, when I worked with clients who wanted to continue to reach goals, but it's also good for us to be able to look at some of these topics as well. Okay, and always encouraging us to get the book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing by Dr. Joy DeGury. Again, we've heard of post-traumatic stress disorder, never post-traumatic slave syndrome. There's nothing that we see as far as certain negative behaviors or some of our responses that doesn't fall under this, okay? So this is an important book to get as well. All three of these items are on my store, located in the description box, as well as on the About page at the bottom, okay? And there's also some other products as well that you may like, okay? Let's see. So, normally, for those of you who are new, we will get the stones, okay? Strength, yeah, courage, imagine, faith, and peace. Let's see which one are we going to get so we'll know which deck we're going to speak from, okay? Let's see. We got faith. Let's see. That belongs to the red deck, okay? So let's see. What are we going to be speaking from today? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what we're going to speak from. Okay, we got something to pop out. Let's see what this is. Okay, we got give. Okay. So this one is the acronym GIVE, and we're looking at the I in GIVE. It says show interest. Okay, it says show interest in other people, be available, be attentive, and really listen to what others have to share. Give others space to open up, be willing to accept what they offer. Make sure your body language also communicates interest with appropriate eye contact, openness, and willingness to put away electronics. Okay, I'm got the thing crooked, y'all. Try a show interest experiment today when you interact with others and observe and describe the effects. Okay, this is an important one. Showing interest. We are living in a world right now where it's very difficult to get someone's attention, even when we're interacting with each other. Like they said, a lot of times we're engaging with our phones and electronics. And that's a great thing sometimes when you're uncomfortable. I think we are using gadgets in order to protect ourselves from others when we're feeling kind of anxious or nervous. Or sometimes you have to ask yourself, am I using these gadgets to be rude? Okay, because I've seen that happen where you have someone that y'all set an appointment to kind of hang out and do things, and then uh, someone's on the phone. Okay, trying to show that I got other things to do. When sometimes they're the one that actually initiated the contact. And so sometimes we're using gadgets to quote unquote put people in their place, to let them know that they're not important. And sometimes we're using it just to feel comfortable and safe, because sometimes again, what we learned in slavery with clique behavior, it's kind of like they've taught us to not only compete with each other, but also to kind of battle and fight each other. And so sometimes we will pick on what we think is the weakest link. And so when that happens, sometimes for people who are getting who are isolated and being picked on and left out, a phone can be a safety net. But for others, it can be used as a way to try to be rude. Okay. So we really actually want to think about showing interest in other people. Uh, and again, because again, they damage our self-esteem so much, where we're so competitive. If I show interest, then then that means that I lose, or that means that I'm quote unquote thirsty, or that means that someone thinks they're better than me, right? So when you see a person not showing interest, know that is definitely a symptom of post-traumatic slave syndrome. This is a person that throughout the generations, and a lot of our people have continued, have felt less than. So if they're not showing interest in you, that means that at some point in their life, or maybe consistently in their life, they've not felt important. And so this is a way to kind of reverse it, right? Or the way to act it out. And so we have to think about, do we want to be the person that acts like those that have hurt us? But we want to be aware of that, you know. And again, it's important to show interest, because if someone's not showing interest and they're not giving back the same energy that you're giving, that is an excellent indicator that you are not with your correct, what we call soul tribe, right? This is not a fit for you. And so that allows you actually to quickly assess who you need to separate yourself from, and who you need to connect with. Okay. So it's very important. Okay. So let's be able to be attentive, listen to others, be willing to open up, be able to accept that if someone have a different opinion. The eye contact is very interesting. In slavery, we were not allowed to give eye contact. Okay. I actually remember being in high school, and I had a teacher. I would not, look him in his eye, and he got angry. He was like, you're not looking me in the eye. Look at me in the eye. And so I did that, what he asked, and he was okay with that. But I remember being very uncomfortable. And part of that has to do with, again, they would beat us. They would kill us if we were looking at them in the eye. And so sometimes it was a Caucasian teacher. I'm realizing that these teachers sometimes are very aware of our trauma, or sometimes people of other groups are aware of our trauma. We're not aware of certain ways we've been affected, but they know. They get off on sometimes seeing us squirm, knowing that we're uncomfortable with that, right? That's that master mentality, okay? So sometimes we're not looking at people in the eye because we've been programmed not to do that, and so we're not doing that with each other. But sometimes we're not looking at each other in the eye because we're being rude, right? I'm not going to acknowledge you, okay? So we want to think about that, okay? And again, we want to journal, put pen to paper if we find ourselves doing that, and try to figure out what is the origin of it. Again, we know the original origin of it, but in your life, where did this start, or who do you know does this behavior, okay? So be looking for that. Okay, that's a good one. All right. So let's see. We're going to get our affirmation with you for the day. And let's see what we get. Okay. Mhm. Okay, like these want to pop out. says, I am courageous and I stand up for myself. Interesting. I am courageous and I stand up for myself. Hmm. Do you stand up for yourself? And I'm just kind of thinking about the card that we just got. That's interesting. We're going to connect that. We talked about the core where, we want to be attentive, but we also want to be courageous. We find someone, they've invited us out, they've initiated contact, then we get around them and they start being aloof or not looking. Be courageous. Stand up for yourself and say, it's interesting. You call me to, meet and talk and hang out, but yet you're being very aloof and distant. Is anything wrong? Call that out. So we have to start holding each other accountable. Okay. What is the most courageous thing I have ever done? And how do I show courage in everyday life? Right? Having to call out little behaviors that we see in each other in a loving way. You say, I notice you're doing that, and if somebody say, I didn't know I was doing this. Okay. So and then be clear, when I see you doing that, I'm thinking that means this. And so, yeah. But again, it's okay if they do it because, again, it's a wonderful indication of who is it that you need to give your energy and time to, okay? Here's another one. Let's see what it says. It says, I radiate energy and uplift everyone around me, right? So if I'm a person that I am open and I am showing interest in others, when you show interest in other people, you're going to radiate energy and you are uplifting people. So people that refuse to engage, they don't radiate energy and they don't uplift. You'll know you'll leave feeling depleted, like you're working real hard just to try to connect. So very good. Okay, let's see, what's one thing you've done, no matter how small, that you're proud of yourself for? Okay. So sometimes we overlook things and people will try to make you feel small. Sometimes when you're the person that's always emotionally giving and being kind, people act like, oh, that don't mean nothing. Yeah, right? But it looks like a small thing, but it's a really great thing. It's an important thing. Okay? It is important. So just because other people are not acknowledging it or trying to make you think something's not important, it is. I will never, ever give up. Right? And again, we come from a courageous people. They never gave up. All the adversity, right? Built and did and created, invented, everything pretty much, right? And then also did great things for themselves. And we talked about this in other videos, but it was sabotage, a lot of times sabotage. But we are very creative people to where we know how to adapt, okay? And still be able to adjust, okay? What is the worst that could happen if I take action on my goals? What tasks do I need to do this week to move towards my goals? Okay? So what are your goals for this week? Pen to paper, okay? All right, guys. And with that, I want to thank you all for returning. And I want you all to be checking out the community tab. I am posting little things, videos, as well as a day in the life of some of my things that I do during the week. And want you all to like, share, and subscribe, okay? And also, too, don't forget to check out the store. Information, again, in the description box at the bottom and on the About page, okay? And remember, everyone has a right to heal from trauma without interference or others' opinions, even a race, nation. And until next time, bye.